This is the most what if episode of What If, and let me tell you why with a spoiler review. So this is the episode everyone has been waiting for, Marvel Zombies. I'm glad that they stuck to the fact that the zombies still knew how to use their abilities and tech, so like Doctor Strange and Iron Man. But on a side note, why were Cap and Iron Man even together in the beginning? Because this is during like Infinity War, or before Infinity War, right? Cap's on the run. And like what the Watcher states, their abilities are what make these zombies so terrifying. Wong and Doctor Strange can just teleport to you and bite you. Ant-Man can bite you without you even knowing. I love that Spider-Man's still making his little short films, and I think it serves as an excellent introduction into our survivors. Something that caught me off guard with this episode was just how violent they were with these characters. You know, if this happened in the regular MCU, this would be a very depressing episode or time in the MCU. Like Scott Lang, you know, he's so happy-go-lucky, I don't want to see him get ripped apart. But at least he's reanimated, and I think his jokes land a lot in this episode, for me personally. But a piece of humor that I didn't appreciate was Bucky's reaction to Falcon's death. I know that it's played for jokes, and I know that they haven't had time to bond yet, but it still felt very cold and unnecessary for the character. Falcon helped Bucky out, even though they don't like each other. They were still on the same team in Civil War. You know, Falcon, by helping Cap, is also helping Bucky. Switching back to things that I did like about the episode, I really like that we got to see Hope turn giant for the first time ever. But it makes me wonder, was Hope really their only option to get to the camp from the train? You know, going from the train to the camp, because can't the cape fly them over one by one? Because we've seen the cape carry people. I feel like there's a number of things they could have done that wouldn't have killed Wasp. And that brings me to the topic of unnecessary deaths in this episode. I feel like a lot of the deaths of the characters could have been avoided, such as Bucky or Vision or Hulk. Pretty much if you died in the camp, I feel like you could have lived. I think one sacrifice would have been fine for a single episode, for a single 30-minute, 25-minute, whatever episode of What If. Like 1 or 2 sacrifices in total. And I was super happy to see Vision in this episode, because of course he would be fine, and that twist with him, that's my favorite part, hands down, from the episode. Because Vision is such a pure character, he's known for his purity, and to see that tampered by his love for Wanda was just very interesting to see. And I loved seeing zombie Wanda in this episode. The MCU is constantly pushing the fact that Wanda is one of the most powerful characters in the roster, and this episode just further pushes that status quo. She fights Hulk in this episode. By herself, by the way. And throughout this entire episode, I was wondering, where's Thanos? Because this entire episode takes place over the course of Infinity War. So, did he give up? Did he just stop what he was doing? Like, where's Thor? Where's the Guardians? I want to see them do some work when they come down to Earth. Luckily, my question was answered in regards to Thanos in that final shot. But anyways, would I rewatch this episode of What If? Yeah, sure. Here's the thing. This is a What Ifs episode of What If. You know, one of the greatest strengths of this episode is the scenario. Marvel Zombies being in the MCU, that's great, that's fun, that's cool, let's see it. Another strength, the interactions between the characters. Characters that normally wouldn't meet unless it was like an Avengers film, but obviously we're not going to get like a million Avengers films, at least not right now, right? But here's the thing, the weaknesses of a What If episode really shine through in this episode. You know, it's very abrupt. The beginning just starts off running, basically. Hits the ground running, I mean. You know, and I would like a little bit more setup. You know, they're giving us a scenario, and they're expecting us to know the context a little bit. And I just want more complete stories. And the ending to this episode, give me a more satisfying ending. I need something else. I need a part 2 or something. So overall, it's a begrudging yes. There's a lot of pros and cons to this episode. Maybe it's just What If fatigue, but that's what I say about it. Also, don't forget that Chadwick Boseman voices T'Challa once again in this episode, so that's another pro to watch this episode. So how soon would I rewatch this episode? Honestly, give me a week. I'll take it or leave it though, because don't get me wrong, this is one of the better episodes of What If, but I'm just getting tired of these episodes basically, more often than not, cutting themselves off when they're getting pretty good. When they're getting more interesting, like towards the latter half of the episodes, that's when I find that the episodes are most enjoyable, and they just stop. And I just want more satisfying stories from these What If episodes. Make them 45 minutes or something, please. If the MCU solo movies are a meal and the Avengers movies are full 5-course meals, and the Disney Plus shows like WandaVision, Falcon Winter Soldier, and Loki or something else entirely, we'll just say like fast food for now. These What If episodes, like each individual one, they're like tater tots. They're like a snack. I'm just they're leaving me hanging at this point, and I'm just getting kind of tired of it. There's also no hype around this show. I see no one talking about any of these episodes on social media, and that just makes me progressively less excited about the episodes. But yeah, so that's my episode review for the latest episode of What If. Comment what you thought about it below, like and subscribe, and I'm sorry it became a little bit more negative towards the latter end of the episode. That's just how I feel about it. Okay, I'll see you guys later. Bye.